Okay, so paper one, basically there are 5 parts. Okay, there are actually 5 parts to this paper. Okay, hold on. Basically, paper one is on reading and use of English. That means your grammar and your vocabulary will be tested in this paper. So there are 5 parts, and it comprises of 40 marks. That means all the 5 parts will give you 40 marks, and you need about 1 hour to 30 minutes. Okay, to complete this paper. Okay, from part 1 to part 5. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, this is part 1. Okay, as you can see, part 1 we have 8 questions with 8 marks. So these are all objective questions. Okay, you have all this part, okay, where you have to um, read, okay, whatever information given, and then you have to answer the question, okay. And most of the questions are actually based on true or false statements, okay. Okay, I will share the question that we will do after this in class WhatsApp group for you to read and then leave your answer, okay. In if you can go to TEDx, it's better still. If you cannot go, then you can just write anywhere in your exercise book. So these are some tips for you in doing or in answering part one. Okay, paper one, part one. So first, underline or highlight the keywords in the question and the text. Okay, so that means when you read the question, like say for example just now, okay, the question here, number 3, which of the following is true about the notice? So maybe you can highlight the word true. And that means they want the train rides are available throughout the launch day. Then you refer to the notice, whether they mention or not about the free train rides. Okay, if you see the first word itself, free rides on the new Sungai Buloh Kajang train line. Okay, starting from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. on 11 February. And then here in the answer option, they give you free train rides are available throughout the launch day. Okay, means that is your keywords. Means free train rides, and then whether it is throughout the launch day or it is from what certain time or throughout the day. Okay, so you have to look at the answer option carefully. Okay, and then option B, for example, free bus ride. So you look at the other information here, okay, in the next sentence. Okay, okay, they said here, until 31st March, passengers will also be able to join a 50% discount on this line plus the same discount on bus services, okay, from all train stations. So that means that may be answer option B, okay, free bus ride. Okay, okay, so you look at other option here, until 31st March, passengers will also be able to enjoy a 50% discount. Okay, then they say here, C, passengers have to pay normal fare after March. Okay, will that be the same information or not? So you have to read and decide properly. Okay, whether this is the true statement or not. Okay, so that is how you read and underline the keywords. Okay, and also practice eliminating technique. What is eliminating technique? Who knows what is eliminating technique? Yes, who can remember what does the word eliminating means? When we have option A, B, C, normally what do we need to do? Okay, let's say you read and then you know, okay, A is totally not the answer, so you just cancel or delete or eliminate the option A. And then when you read again, okay, you notice B is also not in the notice. That means it is not the information that you can find in the notice. So you also eliminate or you take out the answer B. Okay, and you will have two answers which are very close to one another. Okay, they are very close, and you have to really look at the information to decide which is the best answer. Okay, so this is for part one. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to answer some question for this part. Okay. Okay, we will look at, I'll share the answer. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll share the question in the group. Can see we have Karina, Tianxing. Yeah, please also write your name below or on top of your answer so that I can see who are giving the answers. Should be avoided. Okay, that will be the clue. So please highlight those words, okay, as a clue for that question. That is the clue for that question actually. Okay. Okay. As a question here. Okay. Okay. Number one. Which sales approach should be avoided? Okay, should be avoided. You must underline or highlight those three words. Okay, that would be the keywords for that question. Okay, which sales approach should be avoided by a salesperson? That means which tactic or which approach that you shouldn't practice when you do sales or when you make sales or when you work as a salesperson. Okay, you cannot do that. Okay, number one. Let us look at the text. Okay, there are various sales tactics. The approach of high pressure selling involves the salesperson in pushing hard. Okay, this approach usually leads to a buyer that regrets their purchase. Okay, that means the first approach is high pressure selling. This one they said that means the salesperson will really push you to buy their product. Okay, and they said normally customers or buyer that will make them regret after buying that product. Okay, next, the approach of transactional selling focus on making quick sales. Okay, the second approach is transactional selling. They said is focuses on making quick sales. That means they want to get very quick profit. Okay, there is no attempt to form a long-term relationship with the customers. Okay, the examples are buying fuel for a car or a new outfit. Okay, this is uh, examples of transactional selling. Okay, that means if you want to buy a fuel for a car or you want to buy a new dress and so on, so you are considered as transactional selling. Okay, beside time when you buy or when you buy from a dealer, okay, a person, after you buy the product, you will still have contact with that person or that seller. So this is what we call as relationship selling. Okay. So the salesperson needs to get to know the customer's needs so they can serve the customers well. Okay. So in this type of information is about how do we the type of uh, selling or the type of purchasing that we make. Okay. Okay, so which one that we should avoid it? That means we should not do to our customers high pressure. Okay, and then number two, transactional selling. Okay, no attempt to form a long-term relationship with the customers. And of course, number three is relationship selling. Okay, so the answer is actually, okay, so let's check your answers. It's actually A. Okay, answer is A. Okay, so we have Beijing, Juyu, correct answers. Okay, Warren, okay, you can check your answers later, can edit your answers. Okay, Karina as well. Okay, buyer may regret their purchase because maybe you give a lot of pressure to the buyer to buy, but in fact, the product is not a quality product. Okay, so that is the type of approach that we should avoid. Okay, that is number one. Okay, answer is A. Okay, number two. Okay, let's get number two. Cinta Malaysia Resort Advisory. Okay, question. What is the main purpose of the advisory above? Okay, highlight the keywords here. What's the keywords? Jianxing, what's the keyword here? So you should highlight the main purpose. Okay, so that are the keywords for this question. The main purpose. Advisory mean they give you advice. Okay, macam panduan. Okay, nasihat. Okay, let's check. Okay, wearing of face mask. Okay, wearing of face mask. Wearing of face mask and scanning of MySejahtera QR code are compulsory at Cinta Malaysia Resort. The Malaysian government has announced that wearing face masks in crowded public area is compulsory starting from 1st August 2020. Guests must also scan the MySejahtera QR code at all main entrances of the resort prior to entry for contact tracing purposes. For your convenience, we encourage you to download the MySejahtera mobile app before your arrival. So we thank you for your support in keeping the resort and our community safe. Okay, it's about the new SOP, right? You have to wear face mask, you have to scan QR code. Okay. Okay, look at option A. To encourage the guests to download MySejahtera. B. To promote the mask produced by the resort. C. To inform the guests about the rules before their arrival. Okay, which one is the correct answers? Okay, we have two answers here, C and A. Okay, some of you said A, to encourage the guests to download the MySejahtera mobile app. Okay, of course, they also mentioned that in that advisory. They did mention that. Okay, they said guests must also scan the, wait, hold on. For your convenience, we encourage you, okay, to download. Encourage. That means that is not their main purpose. Normally, the main purpose will be the first thing they mention in that notice. Okay. So when they mention the first thing they mention, what is the first thing they mention? You have to wear face mask, you have to scan QR code, which are compulsory. So that is what they want the customers or the guests to do. Okay, that is the main purpose. Whether they want to download or not, the MySejahtera mobile app is not something that they want. It's something that they encourage only. Okay, so this is where you have to know which one is more important. Okay, how to know which one is more important? Based on how they mention the information. So here they mention about the rules. So definitely the answer is C. Okay, so number two, the answer is C. Yeah? Okay, so please check your answers. Number two, the answer is C, not A. Yeah? Okay. You know B is totally out. It's either A or C. Okay. So normally when they first mention in that notice or advisory, that will be the main purpose. Okay. Okay, please change your answers. Okay, number two is C. Now we go to number three. Okay, number three is about Kuala Lumpur. This is about a statement. Okay, which of the following statement below is correct? So highlight the word correct. Please highlight that keywords. Okay, correct. Okay, highlight the word correct. Okay, and then now we look at the information first. Kuala Lumpur. Okay, more than 5,000 people were in flood evacuation center in Johor on Sunday, with the authorities predicting more rain as several Malaysian states were hit by floods over the weekend. Okay. The affected states included Johor, Melaka, Pahang, Kelantan, Terengganu, Sabah and Sarawak. Parts of Malaysia, especially the East Coast states, are hit annually by heavy monsoon rain, with the worst case in recent years occurring from December 2000 centers about rains and so on. Okay, so we want to know which is correct. Okay, look at A. For this type of question, you have to really read all the options very carefully. Okay. The whole of Malaysia is hit by heavy monsoon rain annually. So the keywords here is annually and then whole of Malaysia. Okay. Annually. So which one is the annually? Okay, look at the statement there. Annually is normally, okay, in the East Coast. Okay, not the whole of Malaysia. Okay, so A is totally out. So you can eliminate A. Okay, please eliminate A. That means you cancel answer A. A is definitely not the answer. Okay, because it totally contradict with the statement given. Okay, now look at B. More than 5,000 victims from Johor, Melaka, Pahang, Kelantan, Terengganu and Sabah Sarawak were placed in flood evacuation center in Johor on Sunday. Okay, let's look at The 5,000 is correct. Okay. For 3, most of you answer C. Yeah. I think most of you answer C because for B, they said 5,000 victims from Johor, Melaka, Pahang, but actually in the statement, only from Johor. Okay. How could people from other state, they go to flood evacuation center in Johor, right? Okay. So B is also out. So definitely the answer is C. More than 200 victims were affected. Yes, correct. Okay. It's there in the last sentence there. Okay. So number 3 is C, correct. So yes, all of you answered C. Okay, done. Okay, now we do the last question for this part, number 4. Okay, next we do part 2. The rest you can do as your practice. Okay, and you can, I'll leave the PEDAC open until maybe until this Sunday. You can read and then you can type your answers in PEDAC. If not, you can write in your exercise book. Okay, okay, for number 4, Wei Wen wants to apply for the job. North South Edible Oils Berhad, production engineer. This is the job advertisement. Job requirement, degree in chemical engineering or equivalent qualification, good coordination and organized skill, minimum of 3 to 5 years experience in food manufacturing plant industry is an added advantage. Proficient in English and Malay language. Job responsibilities. The successful candidate will be expected to manage plant production, design, installation, modification, and evaluation, okay, to ensure that plant efficiency and production quality are within specifications. If you are interested, please send your resume to admin and so on. Closing date 30th of March 2021. Okay, A. Okay, let's check your answers, whether we have different answers or not. Yes, we have A, we have B, we have A and B. Do you not know answer yet? Okay, so we have A and B here. Okay, let's check. Wayward A. Wayward's chance of getting the job is higher if he has more than 3 years of experience in the food manufacturing plant industry. Then 3, that means within 3 to 5 years lah. Okay. Okay, that is correct. A is already correct because it's already mentioned in that advertisement. Okay, now look at B. If Wen, why Wen block? Wen, okay. If Wen gets the job successfully, he will be responsible for shipping the product to customers. Did they mention about this in the advertisement? Shipping the product to customers. Shipping. Degree, good coordination. They did not mention about having to ship the product to customers, right? They only mention manage plant production, design, install, modify, and evaluate. They don't mention about shipping. Okay, because of the word shipping, so the answer B is not accepted here. Okay, so you can eliminate B. Okay, how about C? Wei-Wen has to be able to speak Malay, English, and Mandarin proficiently in order to secure the job. Okay, do they mention all the proficient in English and Malay? English, Malay, no Mandarin. Okay, so C is also out. Okay, so we left with only A. Answers for part 1. Okay. Yes, we have to read and then we have to refer to the information given, whether it is there mentioned or not. Okay. Okay, that is for part 1. Okay. Okay, now we look at part 2. We are going to go to part 2 now. Okay. Okay, I'll stop sharing this one first. Okay. Now look at part 2. Okay. So in this part, okay, there are also 10 MCQ. MCQ means multiple choice question. So there are 10 multiple choice questions, okay, with 10 marks. Okay, and the answer option is A to D. Okay, just now in part 1, the answer options are only A to C. Okay, you have to remember that. It is not that they miss out the answer D. Okay, it's just that they only have one A to C for part 1. For part 2, you have A to D. Okay, or someone or an animal or a place and so on. Okay, and you have to answer that. Okay, this is a closed passage. It's testing your vocabulary and your grammar. Okay. Okay, this is the sample question. Okay, tips. Okay, how to answer this part. First, of course, you have to read the passage once for main ideas. Means you have to know what does the text is about first. Okay. Number two, look at the words before and after the questions. I mean the words before or after the blanks. Let's say you have the blank here, like for example, number nine. Okay, number nine, of course, you don't have any words before that. Okay, but look at number 10. Perhaps the most surprising and disappointing. Okay, so the word before the answer is disappointing, after the answer is about. So you have to look at that words also. Okay, before you choose your correct answer. Okay. So look at the words before and after the question. Okay, now let's answer some questions. Okay, I will share the question in part two. Okay, in peer deck. Okay, okay. You first read the text. Okay, read the text. Read the text without the answers yet. Mean to get to know what is the text about. After you read first or once, then you go to each question for the answers. Okay. Okay, let's look at the text in general. Okay, so this is actually about spending time. Okay, spending excessive time on screen. Let's say we are looking at the computer, you are looking at your phone, or you're looking at television. Okay, anything that has. And when they work from home, they are not talking to people; they are talking to the computer. Okay. So and then some of you also like you play games, okay, you will be looking at the handphone most of the time, okay. So they said is all this screen time bad for our eye health? Okay. Screen time may lead to a number of negative effects. So they first give you the negative effects when you're staring at the screen for a long time, whether it's MCO or not, definitely it's not a good practice, okay, because it may cause eye fatigue. Okay, our eyes can get tired from intense use, causing double vision, headache, and so on. Okay, if you are looking at your phone 24/7, if you watch television or whatever for too long, it is not good for your eyes. Definitely, this is a fact. Okay, we may also suffer focus flexibility problem if you always stare at the screen. They said here, we may have a problem with focusing on certain things. Okay. And then excessive screen time may also cause retinal damage. Okay, this is more on the physical effect. Okay, more on the health effect to your eyes. Okay, and then digital device. Okay, this is like something might be very alarming. They say if the blue light from the phone or from the devices can actually damage our eyes. Okay, so they can damage light sensitive cell in the retina. That means sooner or later you will not be able to, your eyes will not be able to face all this sensitive light. Okay, you cannot, it cannot filter, okay, all the blue lights and so on. Okay, so in the end this can lead to loss of eyesight. Oh gosh, this is worse. Okay, this is actually worse. Okay, because eyes are very important. Our eyes are very important. We have to take really good care of our eyes. Okay, so there are easy what we can take to reduce our risk of eye strain or damage. Okay, the easiest is adjusting the lighting. We need to make sure that our screen are not brighter than the surrounding light, or else our eyes will have to work harder to see. Besides, it is important to rest our eyes. American Ophthalmological Society using 2020 rule to reduce eye strain. Take a break every 20 minutes by looking at an object 20 feet away for 20 seconds. That means do not stare at your screen for too long. Okay, you have to like deviate from staring at the screen. Keep our screen about an arm's length of 25 inches from our eyes. Okay, if you're staring at your phone or looking at your phone, make sure it is 25 inches away from your eyes. Okay, and then also it is important that we position the screen in a way that we do not produce a glare from sunlight. Okay, I mean we do not staring at the sunlight. Okay, excessive exposure to screen can bring about many disastrous side effects. The effect on our eyes can be easily avoided if we take steps to reduce our eye discomfort. Okay. If we notice developing, we probably aren't taking the proper precaution. In view of that, every day should take necessary steps to protect our eyes. Okay. So this is about eyes. Okay. Everything is about eyes. Whatever it is not advisable to staring at the screen for too long. Okay. Let's go through the answers. I think most of you have completed all 10 questions. Okay, let's check question number 1. Tedious means a lot of work that you have to do. Tedious. Dull mean it's not exciting. It's very dull. Okay, and then tiresome is very tiring. So we are referring to the screen time. Okay, you have to remember the words after the answer is screen time. Okay, so whether all these answers A, B, C, and D they can be appropriate to be used with the word screen time or not. That is how you come to the answers. Okay, so is it tedious screen time? Okay, that means when you look at the screen, is it dull screen time, or is it tiresome, or is it prolonged? Which is more appropriate to be used for this sentence that describe the screen time? Okay. Okay, some of you answer A, some say D, A, D, A, D, C also have, so A, C, D. So most of you answer A, C, D. Okay, so I'll tell you what, the most totally out is D. D is already out. Tiresome, how can you say tiresome? Tiresome is normally for people. Okay, tired. So tiresome is already out. Okay, D is already out. You can eliminate that answer, D. Yeah? Okay, dull. Okay, dull, screen time. Dull is normally for um, uh, something not on screen time. Screen time because we are talking about time. Time. Okay. The clue here is also time. Screen time. You know, tiresome is out. So can you describe time is dull? Dull time? No, right? So dull is also out. Okay. So now left with prolonged or tedious. Tedious. Okay. Normally tedious is describing on your work. Okay. Either you work very tediously or your homework. Okay. You have to do very tedious work. Okay. So tedious is normally meant for work. So now left with the word prolong. Because it's about time. How long? Prolong. Okay. So the word long is also there. Okay. Long, short. So it describes time. So the answer is A, prolong. We evaluate. Okay. We analyze the question. It's not easy. Okay. It's not easy to answer this objective question. I'll tell you. Okay. Because you don't have a choice. Once you answer wrongly, then it is wrong. There's no okay, maybe we try to negotiate your answer. No. Okay, if the answer is A, it's A. Okay. Okay, now we go to number 2. First, it causes eye fatigue. Our eyes can get tired from intense use. Okay. Now, eyes can get tired. Okay, that means eyes, of course, from human, right? Or from animals. So, causing double vision, headache, and concentration difficulties. Okay, stop. Number 2. We may also suffer focus flexibility problem. Okay, and now they want to also. Keyword here is the word also. We may also. That means something that you want to add extra. Okay, something extra that you want to add. Okay, so which one? Okay, if you say however, we may also suffer focus. However is contrasting idea. That means idea yang berlainan. This one is still talking about the bad effect of prolonged screen time. So you cannot use however, okay? And then, okay, although normally after some words you have a comma. Okay, here in that sentence you don't have a comma, right? Although, you cannot just say although and comma, no. Although you so on, comma, then that is where we can use although. Here, the answer is none other than besides. Okay, so let's say B, okay, Karina said A, okay, B, Tianxing said D, B, yes, okay, so please change your answers. Okay, it should be besides, mean they want to add on the idea or the information here. Besides, we may also, so the keyword here is the word also, that shows that it is the other ideas that we want to add. Okay. Okay, number three. Okay, number three, digital devices. Okay, then they talk about digital devices, and then after the answer, blue light, which can reach the inner lining of the back of our eyes. Okay, so the option given, react, commute, charge, or release. Okay, digital devices, react, commute. Commute mean you move. Commute mean move, okay, from one place to another. Okay, and then charge mean when you have digital devices, they will produce. Charge mean produce the blue light. Okay, and also release. Okay, so A and B is definitely not the answers. Okay, so you can eliminate A and B. How come the digital devices react to the blue light? Okay, or how can they move or commute? So either charge or release. Okay, so does digital devices charge the blue light? No, they release. Okay, they like produce or they bring out the blue light from digital devices. Okay, that means the blue light comes from digital devices. Okay, so the answer for number three is D. Okay, so number three is D. Yes, Karina answer A. Okay, D. Okay, so please change your answers. Okay, for number three. Okay, now we go to number four. Okay, studies. Okay, studies. Then dash. Studies, present, offer, exhibit, or show. Studies present, no. A is out. Offer, no, out. You cannot offer. Studies cannot offer. Then exhibit. Do you studies not exhibit? Normally studies show. Okay. Okay. Kajian menunjukkan. That is in Malay we call it studies show mean kajian menunjukkan. Show mean menunjukkan. So the answer is D. I think most of you answer D. Except for Tianxing. Okay, Tianxing answer B. Okay, no problem. Just change your answers. Now you know studies must always followed by show. Okay. Okay, number five. There are easy we can take to reduce our risk of eye strain or damage. There are easy what to take to reduce our risk of eye strain. Easy treatment, recipe, step, or system. Okay. So number five. Which one is definitely not the answers? Which one is not definitely not the answers? Recipes, of course, not recipes. How can you get recipes for treatment? Okay, for your easy recipes. We're not talking about recipes here. Okay, use easy system is also out. So B and D is out. Okay, it's either A and C, either treatment or steps. Okay, now let's check the question again. There are easy treatment we can take. Treatment normally we treat after we get the disease. Okay, treatment tu is rawatan. That means when you let's say you have fever, then only we give you treatment. This one they said to reduce. That means you do not get that disease yet. Okay, so that's why we cannot choose treatments. Okay, so the answer is steps. Okay, number five is C. Okay, five is C, steps. Okay, most of you answer C except for Tianxing. Okay. Okay, so the answer for number five is C. Okay, now we go to number six. The easiest, what is adjusting the lighting? Easiest, number six. Protection, insurance, precaution, discretion. The easiest protection. The easiest insurance. B is already out. Insurance out. Precaution. Okay, precaution. So number six is C. Okay. Okay, 6 is C. Okay. Okay, and then number 7. Okay, number 7. Okay, the American Ophthalmological Society. Okay, they talk about the society using the 20-20-20 rule to reduce eye strain. Okay, number 7. Confirm, recommend, support, or praises. Okay. So now you have to choose the correct one. Okay, the American Society using confirm, recommend, support, or praises. So praises is definitely out. Praise means memuji. It cannot be the society memuji. So they are using the rule. That means either they recommend or they support. So confirm also not the answers. Okay. So it should be either recommend or support. Okay, so the answer is recommends. Okay, recommends. Recommends. B. Okay, now can further can further what our the strain on our eyes can further. I think the word hour after the blank is not correct. You just delete the word hour there. Okay, so a glare can further blank the strain on our eyes. The word hour after the blank you just cancel or delete. Okay. Okay, so a glare can further what? That means can give more impact. Can further aggravate, complicate, obscure, or upset. Okay, upset is totally out. Upset, and then obscure is also out. Okay, it's either aggravate or complicate. Aggravate means like uh, give uh, more impact. Okay, more impact to your eyes. Okay, complicate means mengelirukan. Okay, menyusahkan, complicate is something that really makes you. So the answer is A. Yes, A, aggravate. Okay, 8 is A. Okay, number 9. Excessive exposure to screen can bring about many disastrous side effects. Okay, they talk about side effect. Okay, the effect on our eyes can be easily avoided if we take steps to reduce our eye discomfort. Oh, okay. Okay, so this one you need to use the connectors. Okay, for number 9. Okay, let's try one each. Okay, try each answer to fill in the sentence. Beside, the effect on our eyes can be easily avoided if we take steps to reduce. Beside means you want to add on ideas, so you cannot use beside here. Okay, despite, the effect also not correct. Okay, A and B is out. Although the C again, although you cannot have although comma no. Okay, so left with nonetheless. Okay, walau bagaimanapun. Okay, nonetheless means walau bagaimanapun. Okay, nonetheless, the effect on our eyes can be easily avoided if we take steps to reduce our eye discomfort. Okay, so answer is D for number 9. If we notice developing, we will be taking the proper precaution. Okay, if we notice warning, expressions, symptoms, or marks. Okay, if we notice warning is also not correct. Okay, it should be answer is symptom. Okay, kalau symptom tu, if we develop symptom. Okay, if you notice symptom developing, so the answer is C. For number 10. Okay, so that will be part 2. Now we go to part 3, which is a longer text. Okay, so we just try to answer maybe a few questions for part 3 because it's a long passage. Okay. Okay, part 3 MCQ question, 8 marks. Okay, this is still MCQ, but there are 8 questions, A, B, C, or D, the answer options. Okay, okay, tips. Okay, here are some tips. Of course, you have to read the question and try to answer them in your own words. And then once you think you know the answer, you look at the options. Okay, of course, you have to look at all the options given, and if your answer is there, circle it and check check the text to confirm your answer. So these are the tips given to the question. Okay, in paragraph 1, okay, look at the question first. Student country, Facebook will be the largest country by population. So now you look at paragraph 1. So you only read paragraph 1. I open the slide for you to type your answers in peer deck. You answer question 1 to 4 only for this class. Okay, the rest you will do offline after our class. Okay, for now we are doing number 1 to number 4. Okay, so number 1, in paragraph 1, what does the writer mean by the phrase if it was a country, Facebook would be the world largest country by population? D, correct. Okay, most of you answered D. Yes, correct. Okay, number 1 is D. Okay, number 2, in paragraph 2, which of the following is true about Facebook? Okay, it's true. Okay, they want the truth. It's true about Facebook. Okay, do you answer B? Okay. Viren answered D. Okay. Is true. Okay, they want the true statement. Okay, paragraph 2. This networking giant is the third most used website in the world after Google and YouTube. Okay. It is said that of all the web great superpowers, YouTube that keeps us most. It is said that of all the web great superpowers, YouTube that keep us entertained, Google which help us search for data and information. Oh, emotional connection of its user. Okay, number 2. Okay, we have several answers for number 2. Facebook is as famous as Google, YouTube, and Microsoft. Okay. And D, Facebook help us search for data and information and keep us entertained. Okay. Okay. Is it as famous as Google, YouTube, and Microsoft? Third most used website. That means they are number 3 after Google and YouTube, Facebook. Okay. And then, so B is also correct. Okay, how about D? Help us search for data and information and keep us entertained. Okay. Just now search Google. Okay, Warren, why I know you said D? Because here they said Google, which help us search for data and information, not Facebook. Okay. It's Google that help us search for data and information. Okay. It's not Facebook. That's why D is not the answer. Okay. So the answer is B. Yes. Okay. So number 2 is B. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then we go to number 3. Okay. Number 3. Ubiquitous. What is ubiquitous mean? If you refer to your dictionary, it means, okay, look at the words in context. Because of the variety of application provided by this network, it has almost become ubiquitous. Variety of applications provided by this network. Okay, it is said that, okay, rare mean jarang, scarce also mean jarang, everywhere mean everywhere, omnipresent means what? Omnipresent means, so what's your answer actually? What do you like for number 3? C? Yes, number 3 is C. Yes, if you refer to your dictionary, I think you know the meaning of that word. Okay, number 4, last question for number 4. In paragraph 3, What are the feelings one will not experience in Facebook? Not experience. Okay. The keyword there is not. Facebook is filled with the cherished memories of its users. You can share photos, videos, you can celebrate your loved one's birthday, your child's birthday. The feeling you experience on Facebook are heartfelt and personal. The data you are providing, however, makes money for the platform. Okay, so will not experience fear, sadness, warmth, happiness. Which one are you not? You will not experience. Yes. Okay. Do you say C? Whereas say A? Yeah, the answer is A. Yeah? Okay. Means fear. I mean, if you based on the text. Okay, it's not in general based on the text. They did not mention about fear. Okay, maybe there are fear if you are posting something not good in Facebook, they might have the feeling of fear. But here, based on the text, they did not mention of that of the word fear. Okay, so the answer is A. Yeah? Okay, now let's go through the next part, which is part 4. Okay, so part 4 is actually a gap text. Okay, this is the part where I think most of you may have not be able to get all the answers correctly, but you can if you know how to if you know the steps or the strategy to find the correct answer for this. Okay, tips. Okay, first you have to make sure that the sentence you choose for a gap fits logically both with what comes before and after the gap. Meaning the same thing like what we did just now. We have to look at the words before and after the gap. Okay. You can also look for words such as definite articles and pronouns in the missing sentences that you think will link to things in the text. That means you look at the keywords, okay, or any articles or pronouns, okay, so that can make you link to the answers. Okay. Then find what those words refer to and place the missing sentences in the correct place. That means from the answers given, you have to look at okay whether they talk about specifically about the sentence before and after that. I mean, you have to analyze the answers given. Okay, you have to analyze, you have to understood the answers given before you come to the correct answer. Okay, this one I want you to do because this is very important part. Okay, so if you haven't been plugged into the ever-changing trends of multiplayer gaming, you may be wondering what all this Among Us ruckus is about. It's become one of the most played online game in the world despite the fact that it was only launched 2 years ago. I'm not sure whether you have heard of these games or not, but I've never. Okay. Among Us is basically a video game with up to 9 players working to find one imposter who's killing the rest of them. Okay, so they stop there. Then they have the question number 1. Something is missing there. Okay, it is a unique game that can be played by an unequal number of players and it's extremely easy to learn thanks to a simple layout. Okay, so they talk about games. So now look at the answer options, okay, from number 1 to number 6. Okay, remember they know to choose, okay, how to choose the correct answers, okay, because they give you extra answers, okay. Okay, so they talk about players, 9 players. They talk about the number of players. Okay, now look at the answer option. Which one do you think can be the sentence after that, after the rest of them? Okay. A, this game has become massively popular due to a combination of multiple factors. Has a personal map to help them navigate the ship. Okay. When you say, if you look at B, has a personal map to help them. You have to know them is for whom, because we are not talking about anyone yet. Okay, maybe they are referring to the players. Okay, C, the game comprises of mini game where the players are to fix this issue to complete the game. Only the imposter has the capacity to be evil while the rest of the crew is helpless. Okay, D and E talk about the imposter. F also talk about the imposter. Okay. Okay. One can memorize the best place to hide and ambush people as an imposter. Also about the imposter. Here is where the players can communicate via text and try to figure out who the imposter is. Which one do you think can fit into that sentence after the words or the sentence killing the rest of them. They talk about the video game, 9 players, and it's a unique game. That means they talk about the game in general. Okay. So the answer is given here. Okay, let's check your answers. Okay, Warren say D. Do you say H? Number 1 is... Oh, okay. Warren say D. Sorry. D. Only the imposter has the capacity to be evil while the rest of the crew is helpless. Imposter. Do they talk about the imposter here? Okay, Among Us is basically a video game with up to 9 players working to find one imposter who is killing the rest of them. Only the imposter has the capacity to be evil when the rest of the crew is helpless. It is a unique game that can be played by an equal number of players. Okay, and then do you say H? Here is where the players can communicate via text. Yeah, I know it is very confusing because every sentence can fit into that sentence number 1. Okay, but the answer is actually A. Okay, answer is actually A, yeah, for number 1. Because they talk about the game in general has become massively popular due to a combination of multiple factors. Okay, and then if you notice, the next sentence they mention about the factor. But the most important factor is that, okay, it is a game that explores spaceship who attempt to fix its various issues and stabilize it. Okay, they talk about the game. Okay. Okay, among the issues are rewiring a panel, sliding an access key card, or simple stuff. Okay, they talk about the game. That is what is happening in the game now. Okay, so number 2, what do you think is number 2? To fix various issues and stabilize it. That means the answer must be related to the sentence before, which is about fixing issues. And then after number 2, they also talk about among the issues. Okay, so you have to find the answers that talk about issues. Which one? A already we use. So which answers talk about issues? Yes, number 2 should be C. Okay, Warren, number 2 should be C. Okay, number 1 is A, number 2 C, because it mentions the game comprises of mini game where the players are to fix the issues then they relate to the issues. Okay. Okay, that is how we derive or we come to the correct answers. Okay, now look at number 3. Fix enough of the issues and stabilize the ship and you win. Okay, so they talk about your strategy, what you should do to win. You fix the issues or the problem, stabilize the ship, and then finally you can win. And then the imposter brutally murders the crew one by one in an adorable cartoon way, and then sabotage the ship system in order to slow down the crew from performing their task. Okay, talk about the what you have to do and talk about the imposter. Okay, so number 3, E, H, and then this is a bit challenging, especially those who are not familiar with the online game, okay, like me. Okay, I found this a bit challenging. Okay, this text is a bit challenging for a gap text. Okay, F. However, there is a twist here. One player is the imposter, an alien monster disguised as a crew member. So the answer is F for number 3. Okay. Now look at number 4. Just now they stop at talking about sabotage the ship system in order to slow down the crew from performing their tasks. So it's like there's one good guy, one bad guy. So the bad guy is the imposter, I think. Okay, because this this character like murdering people. At the same time, you have to take care of the ship and so on. Okay. So number 4, but that doesn't mean that they don't have option. At any time, members of the crew can call an emergency meeting. Okay. Number 4 is actually D. Yeah? Okay. Only the imposter has the capacity to be evil, but the rest of the crew is helpless. Okay. So they vote and select a player as the imposter. Number 5, the answer is H. Number 5 is H. Okay. 5 H. Okay, we are thinking correct. Number 6 is okay. If they choose correctly, they win. However, if they make a mistake, then they would have terminated an innocent player. Hence, here is where the mind game takes place. As the imposter lies and misdirect, the crew members will claim to have been the real imposter or suspicious behavior, such as players crawling through the ventilation, which only the imposter can do. Okay, number 6 is E. I think number 6, the answer is E. Not be asked with this type of question, where I think maybe only some students know how to do or how to answer this type of question if they are gamers. Okay. Okay. Can we okay, so I repeat the answers. Number 1 is A, 2, C, 3, F, 4, D. Number 5, H. And number 6 is E, elephant. Yes. Okay. So Diva, if you are writing, make sure you write in your exercise book. Okay. Okay. Okay, now let's go to part 5. Okay. Part 5. So it's about what to watch. Okay, what to watch. They have A, B, C, D, and E about all these films. Okay, movies. Alive, Fast and Furious, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mulan, and Aladdin. Okay. So there are two types of question. If you can see, the first 4 questions you have to give the paragraph either A, B, C, D, or E. And question 5 to 8, you have to fill in the answers with not more than one word. Remember that, not more than one word. Okay, for question 5 to 8. Okay, so okay, so part 5, information transfer 8. So make sure not more than one word for question 27 to 40. Okay. Okay, tips. Pay attention to the number of words to be chosen in the second part. Okay, just now I mentioned, so far they ask you not to write more than one word, and read and transfer the information from the text carefully. Sometimes your spelling, okay, you have to be careful with your spelling. The words are there, but you still make a wrong spelling of word, then we will not compromise. Okay, we will not negotiate to give you marks because it's already there. Because once you transfer, maybe you transfer it wrongly. Okay. Okay, let's do some question in part 5. Okay, from the question that I gave just now. Okay, let's do together question number 1 to 4. Okay, Jay wants to watch the world champion perform. So where should Jay go? Sorry. This is watching action horror movies. Okay, so which movie shall Tasha go? Action. So the keyword here is action. Action horror movies. Keywords there, action horror movies. You have to read all the movie types, the genre. Of course, Fast and Furious is action, but does it have horror? Okay. Alive is a fast-paced thriller. Okay. Walking Dead. Okay. Sonic the Hedgehog is a kid-targeted action adventure movie for kids. Mulan is this is about family and all that. Okay. Princess movie. Aladdin is about Aladdin and his lamp and also the monkeys. Live action version of magical. Okay. So let's check your answers. Action musical. So the keywords here all like action horror, action pack, lonely character, live action musical. Those are the keywords for you to make sure to choose the correct movie. Okay. So number one, okay, do you say A? Where A? Okay, number one is A, correct. Okay. Number two, okay, number two is car chases. Okay, car chases. I think if you have watched the movie, you know which one. Of course, it is. Do you mesti tak pernah tengok Fast and Furious ni? Okay. Okay. It's B, about car chasing. B, number two. Okay, number three. Sonic never feel abandoned, but he is lonely. Hence the movie's message. Okay. So the keyword there, lonely. Okay, lonely is there. So number three is C. Okay, number four, Radik. Sorry. Araf likes watching live action musicals. Live action musical. Live action musical is either D or E, I think. D is more on this princess type of movie. Life magical, yeah, because Aladdin, right, with his magic lamp and all that. So that will be the magical. So magical, yeah. The keyword magical is there. So four is E. Okay, four is E, yeah. E. Yeah, four is E. Okay, now for the one word answer. Okay, one word answer. Okay, one word answer. What what we want to watch. Okay, how do we know which movie we need to refer to? So you have to know. Okay, you can always count on what storyline when it comes to movies about zombies. So you have to find the movie that relate to zombies. Just now in A kan, A it mentioned about South Korean zombie. So that means the answer should, the word should be from that movie. Okay, so you just look at A. Okay. Now you go back to the question. You can always count on what storyline when it comes to movie about zombie. Okay, what storyline? Is there any storyline in that? Okay. This fast-paced Korean thriller movie prove there are still fresh stories to tell when it comes to the Walking Dead. Okay. They did not mention in general, in specifically about storylines. Okay, storyline. So the word storyline is not there, but you can see, you can count on what storyline when it comes to movies. But the word story is there. Okay, so the answer is number 5, film. Okay, yes, the answer, but not film, but fresh storyline. Okay, so the word is fresh. If you can see from A, now line number 2, movie proof there are still fresh stories to tell. So fresh storyline. Okay. Yeah, the answer is fresh. Okay, number 6. The heroine steal her father's watch so that she can join the army. Okay, let's talk about which movie? Army. Heroine steal her father's watch so that she can join the army. It is about Mulan kan? Yeah. So the movie is on Mulan, Mulan. So look at D. What does the heroine steal from her father? Mulan steal her father's armor. Yes, armor. Yes, armor. Okay. Yes, armor. Okay. Number 7. Number 7. One Sega video game character is all alone and longs for. Okay. This one is about lonely character just now. I think it's Sonic. Okay. Okay, what do they want? Sega video game character. Importance of companionship. So he longs for companionship. Okay. He longs for companionship, which is in C, the last word. Yes, companionship. Okay, he wants friends. He wants company. Okay. Okay, 8. In order to experience life outside of the palace walls, the heroine disguised herself as a. This is about the palace and all that. I think this should be. Is it on the Aladdin palace? Yeah. So in order to experience life outside of the palace world, the heroine disguised herself as a okay. This one is in Aladdin. Yes, correct. Handmade. Handmade bukan man. Parent handmade. The word is there in the Aladdin. Line number 2. Handmade. I think you can see it, right? Okay. Yeah. So this is sample expression that you can use with your partner A and B. A mean candidate A, B mean candidate B. So when you want to start discussing your topic for part 3, so you can make use of all these useful expression. Okay. So that means when we do the speaking that from the question that I give that day, right? I give you the question then. So I want you to apply this expression in your part 3 with your partner, okay? Using the topic that I gave that day. I think I give you 2 practices, right? So you can choose any of the practices, okay? So I will post this in the group, okay? But I'm not sure if you want me to give you the hard copy or not. I think you can just maybe choose a few, okay? Because you're not going to use all of this. Maybe you will choose 1 or 2 for you to use in your speaking discussion for part 3. Okay, so I'll share this in group. Okay, you can choose. Okay, when you are doing your discussion in part 3. Okay, based on the topic that I give a few days before. Okay, if you want to print it out, you can. But we will see if you want me to print it out for you and give you hard copy. I will also do that, but I think I will just give you next week because I want you to prepare your script for part 3 using all these example. Okay. Okay, and then the hard copy I'll print out and give to you next week in class. Okay, in class. But by the time I give you, I would like you to prepare something first, okay, for your speaking. Okay. Any questions?